So here's a few news articles. We're waiting for the official time to start. So Kanye West has gone full Nazi. He seems to be having some kind of mental breakdown, but he also seems to be a real sincere anti-Semite. Said he's going to go DEFCON 3 on the Jews and said until he gets banned from all the social networks. And now he's buying one of the alt-right social networks, I think Parler, one of the ones that's a total disaster. Almost nobody on it is totally going broke. So like I said, I heard Scott Galloway say, what I'd say is the person that owns it should jump on this and say, yes, thank you, yes, buy it, oh good. Because you're selling it for anything is all you're ever going to get. But anyway, since he is now seen as a hero by Donald Trump and Musk and the official Republican Party have all praised him as like their best guy. And and now the Nazis in LA are having public displays. And and Andrew Auernheimer, one of the famous Nazis, came out and said that he's like the greatest guy since Jesus Christ, maybe even the greatest guy since Adolf Hitler. So it's a huge rise of the Nazis in America, and this is the whole Republican Party seems to have completely been taken over by this and not have any illusions on it. Rachel Maddow has a great podcast series out explaining how exactly the same thing happened in 1940. Armed gangs of right-wing Nazis blowing things up, stealing guns, and planning to overthrow the government in order to be all in line with Adolf Hitler. So it's not like this hasn't happened before, but it's amazing how fast it happened. Even 5 years ago, 6 years ago, the Republican Party threw Steve King out for being too openly Nazi. But now apparently there is no such thing as too openly Nazi anymore in the modern Republican Party. So the student debt relief has been blocked by a judge temporarily while it can be reviewed. But the education secretary says they're going full speed ahead. Fill out the form, so sign up online. They think it's going to happen. We will see. It's almost certainly not legal, but it may not exactly be stoppable. Maybe in that gray area where you do something that is not within your power, but nobody can quite figure out how to stop it. And so I say we have an awful lot of signs of serious decay of our structure, and yet we do not have a military coup replacing the government yet. And the experts have said this problem is the thing that stopped Trump, which he absolutely wanted to just take over the government by force, but the thing that stopped him is he has bad relations with the military. He has contempt for them, he doesn't make friends, and that's what you do. First you make the military on your side, then you have a military coup, and he failed to do that. So a week or so before January 6th, he planned to declare martial law and shut the voting down and seize the ballots and declare the election invalid and just have him appoint himself king. But the military heard about that and issued an official letter like a week before from all the top military leaders saying, we will not obey an order like that. We are totally not going to march against American citizens, even if the president tells us to. And so he couldn't do it. So the question will be if whoever replaces him, like Ron DeSantis, is more in tune with the military. And as far as I know, none of the other Republican MAGA leaders seem to have any respect among the military yet. So that may preserve us for a while yet. We're living through interesting times. It'll be in the history books, the decline and fall of the American empire. So Apple and Google are in a big battle over text messages. I haven't done that. Apparently, if you get texts from Apple and you're on an Android, they come in funny. If you're on Android, they come in funny because iPhone uses some non-standard messaging system for iPhone to iPhone messages. And Apple does. And Google uses a normal one. So now Google is going to punish Apple by changing Google's messenger to poorly display Apple SMSs now. And so you will not be able to see graphic images, you'll just see like a text description of them. So the battle between the two platforms continues. I read an article a week or two ago of a memory analysis of LastPass, and I was horrified, and so I tried doing it. It is so easy to steal everything out of your vault that I turned it in a homework project for a couple classes. Not this one, although I'm thinking I ought to do it for the Android version and put it in this class. This is for the Windows version, and it is just appalling. I thought that when you put stuff in LastPass, if you put in 100 passwords, it would only decrypt the one password you need briefly to log in, and then everything would be encrypted again. I thought that was the point, and that is absolutely not what it does. What it does is you create a vault with a master password, then you put some passwords in there, then it attaches a process with the extension to your Chrome browser. You find the Chrome browser to which it's attached, which has this flag, extension process, and that in RAM has your entire vault decrypted currently all the time Chrome is open, just sitting there. Everything is just right there. You can just go into that vault, take the memory of that process, and look in there and find your entire vault, your credit card numbers and everything, decrypted 100% of the time, just sitting there in RAM, which does not seem like the right way to do it. And so anyway, I haven't immediately quit using it on something else because I have no reason to believe the other ones are any better. And I'm not sure, it seems to me like you could do better. But anyway, I was surprised. This is nothing new. Other people figured this out in 2015. So I thought, well, I should write a Metasploit module for it. But that was already done too. In 2018, they wrote the LastPass vault decryptor for Metasploit. And when I looked through the source code for this thing, it just looks into a registry key where they say you'll find your unencrypted master password. And I looked and I could not find it anywhere in the registry anymore. So I think they removed that, but according to someone this morning on Twitter, they said, yeah, but if you use this on a modern version of LastPass, it will just find your master password. And I said, well, I got to try that. So I think I'm going to have a whole series of projects trying various hacking tools against LastPass to see how hackable it is. I was not aware of this until I saw the article from MDSec, the authors of this 128 textbook, saying, even your security analysis, saying as far as a pen tester is concerned, if you hack into a system and you find they're using LastPass, that's no problem at all. Just sail right into LastPass, steal everything. And I thought the point of it was harder than that. 15 or 20 years ago, I had a password-protected Word document with my passwords. And that's what I used to use. And I guess that was a lot more secure. I didn't think so. I thought a professional password manager would be more secure than that. But I'm thinking it's probably less secure than that. It is more convenient than that. But anyway, I'm having discussions with people. I'm trying to decide exactly how much this means. Like people say, I quit using LastPass. And I say, well, I don't know. I'm not sure about that yet. I'm especially not sure that moving to something else would be anywhere better. This may be the way they all work, but I thought they were better than this. Anyway, so now they're growing fish cells in like a tank without the fish. And they say they're getting sushi quality fish out of it, the alternative seafood. So this would be perhaps a good idea. Then other people say, well, they can't really do it in enough quantity to replace fishing. But anyway, this seems like the science fiction future where your food is synthesized in a tank and, so it's happening here in San Francisco too, apparently. So might be good. I'm not sure. Might satisfy the ethics of certain people at least. But, I think you could perhaps be more sustainable and stuff depending on how you do it. This one I was surprised. I saw the drones. They use drones to blow up a lot of stuff in Ukraine, and they showed like the soldiers shooting at them with rifles. And apparently they're very effective. Shoot down 85% of the drones. Because apparently the drones they said they're getting really cheap, low-tech drones. I think they're buying them from Iran or something. And they actually fly low and slow, and you can actually just shoot them down. So that's an interesting consequence I didn't realize. And so today there was a big announcement from Garland, and a bunch of people had hoped that he would say something like prosecuting Trump, but it was more anti-Chinese stuff, accusing a bunch of Chinese people of spying, having to do with stealing intellectual property from America, which is going on for a really long time. Just seems to be an amping up of America's big, increasing hostility towards China over high-tech stuff, which is getting pretty extreme. I'm not glad to see it. I think for one thing, it means I'll never be able to on China, and, but. What's that?
It's good for votes.
Good for who?
Voters.
Moda?
Voters.
Motors?
Voter.
Voters?
Yes.
Think people are going to vote for somebody because they mean to China?
To get support for voters.
Get support for voters?
Yeah.
For who? Which voters in which country?
Bashing China is good for getting votes.
Oh, you think so? You think an American politician can become more popular by being tough on China? Yeah. Possibly.
It's about voting time, right?
Yeah, possibly. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how popular it is here. Anyway, so let's see. Someone cut the fiber cable. Yeah, between the British and the French. Well, they did a while ago. The LastPass project is in 126 and in the forensics class right now, but I'm probably going to write more versions. So here's, I heard, the internet connectivity, severed cables in France. I heard there's undersea cables. The Russians apparently, or somebody bombed the cables, the oil pipelines, but the internet connectivity from last month, severed fiber cables in France. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Yeah. Anyway. All right.
Somebody saw the picture of the pipeline that got bombed.
Yeah.
They saw the picture. It's actually the pipes got split up.
So did they you're talking about the gas pipeline that got bombed? Did they figure out who did it or anything?
Yeah, only the Russians are over there, so they're around there.
Well, a lot of people suspect the Russians did it, but the Russians are blaming the Ukrainians, and some people are blaming the Americans. So,
There have to be some kind of bomb to make that kind of.
yeah, it was like a depth charge from a submarine or something. But I mean, nobody has proven it yet, I think, who did it.
That's crazy.
What?
That's crazy.
Yes, I mean, the strange thing about it, it was not clear to me how it benefited the Russians. I mean, the Russians presumably would like to sell the gas to Europe, and now they can't. It seemed to me like the only people that gained from it would be the Americans and the Ukrainians, why they blame them. So, but the evidence seemed to suggest it's a Russian false flag operation doing it, so they can blame it on us. But
Probably,
it's certain.
probably somebody that want to get back at the EU. Probably.
Yeah, somebody just wants to hurt the EU. Yeah, but I mean,
Probably Moscow probably didn't plan that. So I think somebody kind of do it on themselves something.
oh, you're thinking it's a rogue agent.
Yeah.
That would make that's a possibility, because the strange thing is, I look at it, I don't think anybody benefited from this. I don't see what nation would have any motivation to do this.
Russia
Yeah.
cannot sell gas anymore. What's the pipeline broken?
Yeah. Someone says the Chinese stocks went down today. Well, I would think so. America and China are in bad,
No,
hostile relations.
Today was Xi Jinping the Congress ended yesterday, right? So all the investors are kind of worried, so the stock drops.
Well, but that's the other thought. He's saying the investors are worried because of Xi Jinping moving to the top, because he does seem like he's really pretty harsh, and he may be nationalizing things and jailing people and stuff. Yeah, good point. They're probably nervous about that. Anyway, that's enough of this news. Let me stop that.